Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to give you an idea of where my personal story is, why I started YouTube, and we're going to go on from there. And what I'm going to talk about today is we're going to talk about, so you want to be a chef. So here are the pros and cons of being a chef. And I'll tell you a little bit about my personal story. And remember, my basil plants smell the basil. That's what makes your day begin. So let's talk about my personal story. I've got about, I would say 52 years of experience. So I've been through all the wars. So you want to be a chef? I'm going to give you the pros and cons. And we're going to do this in a series of videos. So I'll give you a little bit of information each time. So this will be episode 1. So I'll tell you where I started. I first started, I wanted to be I just got a job in a restaurant, and I started washing dishes. And I said to myself, this sucks. So I said, I worked my butt off, and I moved my way up into like a pantry cook, making salads and sandwiches, and that's where you start. You start from the bottom up, and then you have to get to the top. You climb that ladder, and then you get to the top. But the only way you can get to the top is to work hard, and you have to work hard. And that's what this business is all about. This business is about working hard and taking pride in what you do. And I've always taken pride in what I've done. And I'm going to start another series also of my famous chef stories, which a lot of them are pretty hilarious, and some of them aren't. So some of the pros are you get a self-satisfaction of being in charge of several people, and you get a self-satisfaction of money. And that's what I did. I worked my way up, and because as a line cook, you'll start as a line cook, and then you'll move yourself up to maybe sous chef after that, which is assistant to the chef. Sous chef is the chef's assistant. Then there's chef, and then there's executive chef. And there's now the executive chefs, they make the big bucks. But in order for you to make the big bucks, you got to go to the big city. But you have to work your way up. And my personal experience is, I would go to say that I wanted to go to the Culinary Institute of America. And I don't have any classical training as far as that goes. But what I've done is I've gone through the school of hard knocks. And hard knocks means going through the trenches, going through everything good and bad. And in this business, you have to put a lot of hours in. And when I was working as a chef, I'm retired now, I put 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and you have to do what you have to do. So you got to go through the grind. And I have seen several chefs in here, people that claim to be a chef. They're not. They're simply not. They think they're a chef and they're not. Well, I've seen people come out of culinary schools that couldn't cook their way out of a paper bag. Yeah, a paper bag. So I think the best way to do it is, if you're going to become a chef, is go work in a restaurant, work under somebody, and get experience, and then work your way up to the top after you've been in the out in the trenches at some good established places, and pick where you want to go. Don't pick you do have to start at the bottom, but pick a nice restaurant that has lots of good reviews or a famous chef that you'd like to work for, and then tell them you'd like to work for him. So that's where I'm at with this, and what my experience is. Go out there in the business and work. Maybe 5 years. Maybe save your money, and then if you want to go to culinary school, then you go to culinary school for 2 years. I wanted to go, like I said, to the Culinary Institute of America, but guess what? It was $40,000 in 1974. Oh my God, I couldn't afford that. So I just worked at different restaurants, owned a couple of my own, and then I just worked all over, you know. But I always worked hard, and and owning a restaurant is one of the hardest things you ever do, you know. So that's where I'm at with this, and those are some of the cons. Some of the cons are, you know, you have to pay for schooling if you want to become, you know. You don't have to go to a famous chef school to be good at what you do. You know, you can be, you know, it just takes time, and you have to go through all the, and one thing I've always learned from working with other chefs or so, you always learn from somebody else. You can learn from them, and you know what you can do? Learn from that and makes you better. And you make your product, you take your twist on that and make it better than what they had. Those are goals you need to achieve. So those are some kind of my thoughts on this. And so I started this YouTube channel, Chef Al's Kitchen, and so that's where I'm going with this. I'm gonna probably try to do a series of these type of videos, and we're going to talk about different things. And so, you know, I just want to tell you my personal story, and then I'm going to start another series of called Chef Stories. Some chef stories that I think are pretty hilarious, and some are good, some are bad. You got to go through the good and the bad to become up here, you know. So that's my opinion, and I hope you enjoy. And next week we'll have another video, so keep watching, and hopefully you learn. And don't be afraid to comment, because I need to know what you think about this video, and then if I'm talking too much or him and hawing too much or whatever I'm doing. But so you start from the bottom and work your way up, and you won't get anywhere unless you work hard. Well, thank you very much, and this is from Chef Al's Kitchen. Enjoy your day.